Brooklyn Independent Television.
Although much of the mainstream media seems to have moved on, there are still stories of triumph and tragedy that are coming out of Haiti. Eleanor Miller and Christopher Schutzer are two Brooklyn-based journalists currently in Port-au-Prince, Haiti, working for the Haiti-Times. And they're joining me right now via Skype. Thanks for joining me, guys.
Hi, Brian.
Thank you.
So what was it like getting off the plane in Port-au-Prince?
Well, the airport was pretty chaotic, which is a little bit symbolic of the country as a whole. To get from the plane to the airport, you have to crowd onto a sort of a shuttle bus, and then you go through customs, which is just, it's full of people and packed with crowds, and there's no real system to the luggage retrieval, and it takes about an hour to get through. So
We've all seen the pictures of the devastation from January where it seems as if everything was just leveled. Is that landscape pretty much the same?
I mean, that's true for some parts of the city. Other parts of the city weren't actually touched at all, or very little of it was touched. Those parts that were leveled are still obviously leveled. And there has been some rubble removal, but there's so much rubble that it looks like basically nothing's been done. The rubble has been carried out in some cases into the streets, so that actually some of the streets are less accessible than they were. You see, cars that are completely smashed up, right next to tents where families are living. Mm-hmm. It is a pretty impressive landscape when you drive through the first time.
I was actually here in January right after the earthquake, and then coming back this summer, the thing that shocked me the most the first time I looked around was the fact that there was still so much rubble, but they've made some good points, one of which is that a lot of it has just been moved around because they're trying to clear out lots. So it's still the same rubble, but it's in different places, and they are trying to move it around. But there's just such a lack of infrastructure in terms of heavy machinery and a place to put it that it's a very slow process.
Haiti isn't front page news anymore. What are the people in Haiti feeling? Do they feel as if we've sort of moved on or forgotten about them?
That's not so much the trouble here. I mean, people here aren't really aware of the news cycle in New York, let's say, so they don't know, that people aren't watching. And what they do see is they see a lot of white faces. They see a lot of very fancy SUVs that come down here as part of NGOs. And there's definitely been a lot of that recently. And actually, I would say even the last month there's been an increase because there's a lot of, it seems, faith-based sort of groups that come down here, like college students that come down 20 at a time. So, they do see that people are definitely here, foreigners that weren't here before. The real question, though, is do they actually see any change from that? And I think, tragically, a lot of people don't,
So do you think people are beginning to get frustrated, Eleanor, by the lack of progress?
Yeah, definitely. I would think more than caring about how many people are watching on TV is caring about the fact that they feel like nothing is being done for them. I visited a camp last week where they have no toilets and they haven't gotten consistent aid for months, and they have not been told anything. Each camp has an organization and they have people that are running it and supposed to be in charge, and even those people have not been told any kind of plan or any kind of the government has not told them anything about transitional housing, about when they're going to be getting more toilets, when they're going to be getting more better systems than just camping tents for the rainy season. So they're really frustrated, and I think they're starting to get to lose hope with the Haitian government, and they're really looking to NGOs and the American government to do more.
What is the most pressing need, Eleanor?
Shelter. I mean, I think that's got to come first. I think they've gotten not complete, but a relatively good control on medical situations. There haven't been any major disease outbreaks or anything like that. Tents are completely failing. They're not meant to be there for 6 months, being used constantly.
Some story that you've encountered or written for your paper that you'd like to share?
A woman named Natasha who runs a school and an orphanage in the Carrefour Fleury neighborhood, of Port-au-Prince.
Yeah.
And the school itself was completely destroyed in the earthquake, as well as the bridge that connects the two areas of the neighborhood. And she's currently almost single-handedly running this operation and rebuilding both the school and the bridge. I think it just speaks to how one person, this sounds very cliche, but how one person can make such a difference, and how it really takes a local person on the ground who knows the neighborhood very intimately and is able to do that kind of thing and make those connections, that is really the biggest asset for Haitians right now.
Right. I mean, and one should add that she's funded. There's an NGO behind her, and but it's exactly that. It's the fact that they have this person who's very competent on the ground, and who knows what to do with these funds, and knows where they're needed, and knows where maybe they're wasted. So,
it's Christopher of Crown Heights and Eleanor from Prospect Heights. Thanks for joining us all the way from Port-au-Prince, and we'll continue to read your stuff in the Haitian Times.
All right, thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a great day, guys.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Follow us on Twitter at BK Independent TV.